Hey everybody, it's Lumi. Welcome back to my channel. So you probably clicked on this video because you really need to build better team comps, or you just need some tips to get some better teams. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how you're going to get better teams. And I did split this video into chapters, so if you ever need to look back on something, there are the timestamps. So the first mistake is running random characters together. Just because a character is strong doesn't mean that they work well in the same team. So for example, if I put all my strongest characters, let's say if I create a team and then I put all my strongest characters, like for example, Malvika and Skirk are my strongest. I just created a random team with all of my strongest characters, and this is a huge mistake because I see a lot of people do this in Genshin, and then when you actually go and fight, the synergy will not be well at all. So let me show you an example right here. As you can see, damage is not doing so well. It's taking an extremely long time compared to some of my other runs when I usually do this domain. So as you can see, I don't think I'm gonna finish because this is gonna take way too long of a time. So you saw that example, and that was probably a horrible run because I just put some random characters, and even though those are my best 4 stars, they don't have a good synergy because when you think of synergy, you always have to think about reactions and what role they play as. I'll show you an example of some reactions. I'm gonna do this one, and I'll show you how much quicker it is compared to the last run because I utilize my reactions here. So as you can see, that was a lot more quicker than the last one. But even if your reactions are really good, this next mistake completely destroys most teams. So mistake number 2 is no main DPS. Now again, what I'm trying to say is that these teams work a lot better because you have a DPS, you have a sub DPS, a healer, and a buffer. So for example, in this one, Shalonen is the buffer and the healer since she can heal, as well as Columbina. Yelan is a sub DPS because she is like the sidekick for like the main DPS who mainly helps them with the damage. And then we have Zebai, and she's the main DPS. She's the one who is mostly on field and does the most damage. And also another tip is to not have too much off field at once. If I put all my sub DPSs together or just all my characters together overall, then that would not really be good. So I could show you as an example. If I put Farina and then Anefa and also Sitlolly, for example, if I put all of them together, then it would not really be good. So I'm going to show you guys the damage on how much I'm going to do with those characters. So let me just start this, and then I'm gonna switch to the character, and again let's just see if this does more damage, and let's see if this goes more faster with my previous run. So let's start. As you can see, I'm not really doing that much damage because I don't really have a main person who's doing most of the damage, and also this is a really huge mess of a team because I'm not utilizing my reactions at all. So I finished, but it took way longer than it was supposed to because I didn't do the right team. Okay, so the next thing is team rotations. These are so important, especially after you build the right team. You need to know how to rotate them to utilize your damage the most. For example, I'm gonna go to the Spiral Abyss. So for example, if I do a completely weird rotation like this, okay, so I'm not gonna do the entire chamber, but as you can see, that was really a mess. I was just trying to show an example of a really bad team. So the next step I want to talk about is having the correct characters for the DPS. And as before, I said that you need a main DPS, a sub DPS, a support, and a healer, or like some type of shielder. So like any type of support. So for example, if you see here, my Skirk is with my Scoffier, and it's really important to have the characters that match the main DPS, because if you check Skirk's kit, you would see that she is only really good with freeze teams. So basically any character that's cryo or a hydro, and also the characters that are really good with her. So for example, Escoffier is like one of the best sub DPSs for her, because Escoffier can heal for her, and also she has a special skill where if you hit it, then the res shred will be 55% if all your characters are hydro or cryo, which is really huge. So that's why it's really important to see like the kit and which characters work best with it, because if you don't do that, then you could be losing out on a lot of damage. So next up I want to talk about is elemental resonance, and for example over here, if I go to one of my teams and then I check the team bonus, there is some effects activated. So over here you could see there's 2 resonance buffs activated, and the first one, soothing water, affected by pyro for 40% less time and increases the max HP by 25%. So that is actually really huge, because increasing the max HP by 25%, especially with Farina, that could be really good, because that means that Farina is doing a lot more damage than usual since her HP is a lot more higher. The next one is shattering ice, increases crit rate against opponents that are frozen or affected by cryo by 15%, which is really huge, especially if you don't have a lot of crit rate, because for example my Skirk, I'm pretty sure that her crit rate's like 50%, but with the resonance, that means that her crit rate is increasing to 65%, which is really good for more critical hits. Thank you so much to all of you for watching this video. I also recently just made a Ko-Fi account, and if you like my content and would like to support me, all donations would be really appreciated. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye!